Hey guys, what's going on? Kevin Cage back with another cryptocurrency video. Like and subscribe if you like what you see, and let's get into the information. And guys, FYI, half of my views on this channel are actually half of the viewers are not subscribed. So again, guys, just with the click of the button, it really does help the channel grow, and I just very much appreciate it and helps me do some deep dives and further my research. So again, guys, appreciate that. And really quick, I want to touch on Brad Garlinghouse's interview that was on CNN today. So basically, people are asking my opinion. I've said this a few times. I think it's just the typical stuff we'll continue to see. I didn't necessarily expect a major announcement. I think that would be done live as well. Otherwise, I know a crypto personality on Twitter, Tony, made a good point saying that if it was, any live news or any huge piece of news, they would give it live because there could be potential insider trading, which is a great point. And again, guys, I think the media is continuing to simply prime the masses, get them used to the idea of digital assets. It's all about neurological programming and brand name recognition for XRP, the token, and Ripple, the company. If you guys agree, let me know down below in your thoughts, because I see parallels just like when Google, Amazon, even Facebook were kind of coming into fruition. You'd start hearing about them. They were on the news from time to time, same old stuff on repeat, and eventually something happens and there's a tipping point. So I think that we're approaching that sooner than later. But all right, going to try to do this video raw and uncut. There's a bunch of information to go over today, so be patient with me. Sorry if I stutter. My head is very, very clouded today. Kind of have a headache. But anyways, XRP Crypto Wolf. France will not tax crypto to crypto trades. Right now, that, in at least the United States, it's a taxable event when you transfer, say, XRP to Ethereum, and if there was, a gain, it's taxable, which is ridiculous. Okay, they're only going to tax cryptocurrency gains converted into fiat currency. Their value-added tax will be assessed when a cryptocurrency is used to purchase a good or service. France is already implementing the new crypto tax law. That is awesome. I really hope other countries kind of take note and follow their lead. I think this would definitely encourage adoption, and I really, really hope the US follows suit, just for my own interests. All right, next, Matthew Linney. The Secure Technology Alliance is featuring XRP. No surprise here. The alliance is a consortium of the major payment providers. So again, guys, it's not just XRP, but it's pretty cool to see this. So the Secure Technology Alliance right here showing Ripple's, DLT platform in this little illustration here with liquidity providers, reducing FX costs. You get the gist. Nothing we haven't seen before. And again, if we go back here, though, it's just cool to see further, validation for the space. So the definition, use of blockchains to move funds between financial institutions. So it could be FI to FI, P to P, or person to person, peer to peer, person to business, and business to business. And of course, the typical things, the concerns for lower cost, efficiency, faster, and more real-time, because we need not only real-time payments, but real-time settlements. And that is exactly one of the only product or things that XRP is really focusing on initially, and I think that's the greatest value add today. People are talking about cryptocurrencies. Even Vitalik Buterin, CEO and founder of Ethereum, the second largest cryptocurrency by market cap, has said that the number one use case for cryptocurrencies today is cross-border payments. That's insane. And again, Ethereum has smart contracts. It's great, but it lacks the ability to scale. Its TPS is far too low, and when you're talking about mass adoption for a crypto asset, nothing is better positioned than XRP. Especially since it's better than proof of stake, proof of work, proof of consensus is key. All right? Remember, David Schwartz on Ripple, he knows what he's talking about. Literally, the founder of Ethereum used to sleep on the couch and work with Ripple back in the day. All right? Ethereum is wildly successful. It's going to be really tested. It's going to either do or die, in the next few years if they can't implement. But just so you know, guys, people, talk negatively about XRP, stick to the facts. All right, and then scalability, reliability, security, perception, regulations. Of course, Ripple's named here with IBM. Hyperledger, of course, is a popular group that we'll continue to see. But just thought I would share that because I really do like how, with like interbank transfers of funds, they show Ripple's diagrams. Next, this is really cool. So Trexia XRP. So Bitcoin will become an altcoin. I don't know necessarily. I just think XRP is not even considered a cryptocurrency in my book. It's far superior. It's a digital asset. Really cool video by Brad Garlinghouse speaking here. And I like this diagram by Status, at Status. He has a great website as well. And just check this out. XRP use cases, business-to-business payments, a bridge currency, of course, agnostic, being able to transfer any form of value, medium of exchange, of course, right here, whether that is, with the ILP interledger protocol, it can bridge ledgers, it can bridge exchanges, it can bridge literally any groups as long as they can interoperate seamlessly. And different APIs and gateways are being developed day in and day out. It can be a store of value. That's all that Bitcoin has at this point. XRP can do that too. Why not use it for everything? All right. This little liquid mark, I'm guessing this is based on liquidity, which is the major use case right now, in my opinion. Smart contracts, I'm excited to hear more about the Codius platform. And again, Codius, the smart contract platform, can actually utilize other cryptocurrencies as well. Remember, Ripple's approach, of course, they want XRP to be number one, but they said if there's something superior, XRP doesn't deserve to win. So they're actually making a lot of these, like ILP, Codius, all these platforms, carrier agnostic, cryptocurrency agnostic, digital asset agnostic, so it can interoperate with everything. Because to create the true internet of value, we need interoperability. We can't we can't have nepotism or, favoritism towards certain projects. Micropayments, we've even heard the news about micro loans, which is a whole new idea. I've never even really considered that. So I can't even fathom what other new streams of revenue that banks are going to come up with as well. And microloans could actually be very, very helpful for people and users. Using blockchain, or at least DLT, you can confirm and authenticate who qualifies for a loan. They can get that in real time instead of waiting 3 days to 2 weeks to even get a loan if they need it. It's just good to see. All right, instant cross-border settlements. Of course, that is literally for XRP. That's not for XCurrent. That's not for anything else on RippleNet. It is for XRP. All right. And when the demand increases, enough of the XRP is actually held. That is when we are going to see substantial increase in price. All right. And the securities and foreign exchange settlements, that is a beast. That's trillions and trillions of dollars. All right here, my favorite Twitter handle, Magic Poop Cannon. I know it's silly, but this person is smart and I always enjoy their tweets. So XRP has a unique ability to attain a market capitalization higher than any other cryptocurrency. Again, I consider it a digital asset. It's, it's always been the one. Because it's an asset designed to move value. If it sees large-scale adoption, hundreds of billions, in my opinion, trillions, not hundreds of trillions, but trillions, potentially hundreds, could be transacting on XRP or the XRP ledger through the global economy. The same point cannot be made for other cryptocurrencies because they do not have the capability or the infrastructure to facilitate the movement of value like that. So abandon the idea of market capitalization restrictions. Remember, guys, this is not a stock. Get market cap out of your head. That has nothing to do with it. Remember, I'm going to repeat this for any newcomers. There was a study by JP Morgan when the cryptocurrency market was at 300 billion. The actual amount of money in that entire cryptocurrency market cap was about, they said something like net inflow of $5 billion, but it was valued at 300 billion. So if someone wanted and they had 300 billion worth of assets, they literally could not withdraw because there was not enough liquidity on exchanges. The money was not available. Get market cap out of your head. This is going to the trillions. It's a fact. Fact. With XRP, it's a nonsensical talking point. Again, narrow-minded people with myopic viewpoints do not understand what it means to go after all global transfers in all sectors, being adapted to be able to, handle anything, but going at one thing at a time. And if they're going after micropayments or streaming, they're, investing in other groups to focus on that. As Ripple focuses global remittance initially, R3 can focus on trade finance, all kinds of things like that. All right, and again, if Ripple's gone, it doesn't matter. XRP ecosystem is still going to survive and thrive, in my opinion. It already has adoption, and now we're just waiting on true utility. They are integrating, they're building, and I'm excited. I'm excited to see all of this come into fruition. And all other cryptocurrencies depend on what investors are willing to invest for market cap appreciation. XRP's market cap is that, plus the global use of it as a value transferring machine. Banks and exchanges could use hundreds of billions in XRP without missing a beat. And as I've been saying lately, Michael Zischek on YouTube, very, very smart guy. He speculates, and I'm looking forward to his information on why he believes that there's only really 10 billion XRP circulating, whereas, my calculations and my personal belief is, it's well under, 25, maybe under 30 billion total. And there's going to be people hoarding this, which you're not considering. And this has a huge multiplier effect on the price, especially when volume ramps up. People, don't think it can pass several dollars again. I think it can pass several dollars with ease. Not financial advice. We'll see what happens. Let's get over $1 first. Let's get over 50 cents. I just want to give you guys my expectations. I've, been digging down the rabbit hole, looking at numbers, and that's just my thought. So let's just see what happens. But right here, Yeshua Taylor, definite subscribe on YouTube. Really, pretty intelligent guy, and I really love this tweet. It just kind of hits home for me. So right here, just this crypto hodl Instagram account is talking about a scam, and he says, when your scam is on CNN. And again, he's a Bitcoin guru, apparently. So just talking about the value, and this is all they have. That's all Bitcoin can say is Ripple is a scam. That's all they have, besides inferior technology, no offense. But right here, Yeshua says, funny how it's considered a scam for the average person to send money to their loved ones abroad for a fraction of the price, because that is live right now, at least in Mexico and Philippines with those corridors. Ripple has done more for the little guy than any other cryptocurrency, period. And I wholeheartedly agree with Yeshua here. I mean, considering well beyond MoneyGram, we also have, Send Friend. I know they're only in New Jersey, but they're going to the Philippines, and that market's growing as well through the US. But these PSPs, these payment service providers, are actively using XRP. Keep in mind, this is only, relatively low payments at the time. But it's, as I've said, from the US, in different corridors, to the Mexican peso, to the Philippine peso, and they are helping families that need it. For anyone that's working here that needs to send remittance payments back home, MoneyGram is proving this. That screenshot I showed yesterday of MoneyGram being 70 times cheaper in terms of fees than Western Union. It was like $1 for MoneyGram and something like 70 US dollars or 70, Australian dollars in fees to send a payment. And not only that, but if you look at the conversion rate, MoneyGram allows you to get better conversion rates. So you're getting actually, more pesos rather than if you used MoneyGram, because they don't hide the fees in the spread as well, like many competitors do. And they save so much money from not only, and just improving operational efficiency, that they can save their customer plenty of fees as well. This is that level playing field. This is one example. This does not only benefit RippleNet customers. This is not only making businesses and, these RippleNet customers richer. It's also helping the everyday person who sends these remittance payments every day to their family. All right. It's making it easier, especially with all these mobile applications being integrated. All right. Now, this is one of the many causes, that I can get behind. It helps the emerging markets, especially in Southeast Asia, Mexico, the Philippines, Africa, India. And I'm just excited to see and wait for more progress. So, that just really touches me, and I'm excited to see this all ramp up. All right, now I'm not sure how accurate this is. This is cool, though. So Rhythm Trader returns after buying $10 worth of Bitcoin every single day. Year 1, year 2, okay? And it's 55%, 32%, 235% during a bull market. Look at 654% during a bull market after 4 years. And again, still seeing growth. Now after gold, and Peter Schiff, I follow him. I've used to follow him very seriously. And again, look at this, gold, buying gold every day, 5%, 5%, 6%, 8%. And then let's account for 2 to 3% for inflation. I'm not really interested in buying gold at this time. Maybe during economic times, because I believe in precious metals, don't get me wrong. But at this point, I would almost use digital assets as a safe haven. See what happens, maybe even hoard some cash and take the risk. And then if the real estate bubble goes down or, something really happens and maybe the stock market crashes again, then I'll go back in, take advantage of that. Because millionaires are made during economic struggles like this, like these downfalls. Next, CZ Binance. Again, this is Cheng Zhao, or however you pronounce his name, and he is the CEO of Binance, of course. And right here, I just like this point. For something to have value, you only need one other person on the planet willing to pay for it to exchange value. For something to have liquidity, you need more people willing to pay for it. I like that. I just really like that. I know liquidity is a catch-all term, at least with cryptocurrency, because it can apply to so many things in terms of order books and finding, to create tighter spreads and actually help XRapid do its job efficiently. But, I just really like that quote. Next, Crypto Maniac. This is how David Schwartz, CTO of Ripple, fights FUD. Let's check this out. Right here, this gentleman, how are banks going to deal with such a volatile market of XRP? Falls by 50% or 50 cents in a day. So let's hypothetically say, how do they, prevent that? And David Schwartz says, I can't find a link where I explain this, and I remember reading this in detail. I probably read this on the channel, but briefly 2 ways. First, by using market makers and LPs, liquidity providers, and incentivizing them instead of holding. So first, by using market makers instead of holding XRP themselves. Second, by profiting when XRP goes up, since there's likely to be almost no adverse selection. And then right here, What about their own replica of XRP where banks trust each other rather than having to trust Ripple? Yes, that makes even more sense. And this is the typical FUD I see on my YouTube videos commented all the time. I literally don't have the time to just argue. I try to cover it in videos, but apparently people just like to comment and not watch anything. But David Short's right here, a free floating cryptocurrency? You think the banks would actually try to do that? If pegged to fiat, what fiat do you peg it to? Okay. Again, that's creating net or favoritism. That recreates the existing problem since banks already have digital assets pegged to fiat. Also, XRP is free to use, it's open sourced, and there's no revenue model for a pegged asset. But yeah, every business is vulnerable to someone else doing exactly the same thing they're doing, but better. But we are way ahead and plan to keep it that way. Exactly. Again, central banks can continue developing their own native digital currencies. They still need a bridge asset like XRP that is completely agnostic and open source, that is permissionless, to bridge between each other. Period. Right here, I do like this Crypto Maniac just talking about XCurrent 4.0. I like this document just to show you guys, again, as I always say, XCurrent 4.0 now enables, integration with XRapid. And just a little proof here, you can see, especially talking multi-hop, I kind of want to go into more depth and detail and see Ripple, the company, talk about this more. Different user interfaces, all kinds of upgrades. But anyways, right here, point 6, increased product interoperability with better interoperability protocols, seamlessly access XRapid for digital asset payments. So at this point, guys, basically, as liquidity in these corridors are developed and actually opened and lit up, all RippleNet partners, instead of just being on XCurrent, they're using everything. They have the option to use XRP. But remember, until liquidity is truly set up and these corridors are truly running enough, volume, then those payments can increase. They can happen easier and it actually becomes cheaper. So it's that network effect. The more people that are on RippleNet, the more valuable the network becomes and the more, profitable it becomes for all of the users as well. And not only the users, but the clients of these financial institutions. So cool to see that. It's just unbelievable, guys. Like the dominoes are truly falling in front of us. Next, XRP_Anderson going over a few of his tweets. So the irony with all of this hate against XRP is that those same people do a great disservice to their followers, such as, maybe YouTube influencers that are Bitcoin maxis, and they simply just call XRP a scam. Whereas if I call something a scam or say it's inferior, I will back it up with actual facts. I still have confirmation bias, but I admit that, and I still will go back to the facts, so feel free to challenge me on that. Now, making people stay away from that could change their lives, often people who would need it the most, while the already wealthy stack XRP. Not financial advice, of course. And that's so sad, honestly. And that's why, I'm really thankful for content creators and bloggers. Like, for example, the Digital Asset Investor has a huge following. And to be honest, guys, I wholeheartedly believe in XRP in the future. Wholeheartedly. Absolute worst case, in my opinion, would be XRP returns to its all-time high. Worst case. I'm expecting several digits for an XRP valuation at some point in the future. And I just think that, all the subscribers of the Digital Asset Investor, I don't want to, name me. I just feel like that's way too egotistical. My ego's already big enough. But I think that anyone, even if they put in $50 of XRP and set it and forget it for years and look back, it could potentially just, really make their day. Maybe $50 invested wouldn't be life-changing per se, but we don't know. And that's the type of impact that this could potentially have. So I'm just really excited, and I'm so thankful for everybody, like sincerely. All right, Doug Fichot, XRP baby. So check this. So let's make this clear. Swift is a part of the Ripple team. And yeah, I mean, this has kind of been around. Like, I know we look at them as competition, but in reality, they're not. So right here, the companies mentioned in this report that, all own blockchain projects. So, of course, Australian New Zealand Banking Group, Bank of America, of course, Citibank, CME Group, and that's exactly where Miguel Valles came from, Fidelity Investments, and talk a little bit about Bearable Guy, just kidding, HSBC, IBM, JP Morgan, Marco Polo, and, we can talk about, the Voltron project as well with R3, MasterCard, NASDAQ, PayPal, okay? And then we have to look at the PayPal connections with, why am I blanking? Was it Earthport? I swear I just breathe XRP all the time. Ripple, Royal Bank of Canada, Santander, and I mean, honestly, additional banks of Canada, almost the whole country's, working with Ripple, and then Swift and Visa. And again, we can do deep dives if you guys want to request it, but I feel like I've covered like 80% of these. All right, right here, Galgatron. I just want to share this because this is cool with people that do airdrops, and this is for your own security. So be careful accepting airdrops. It generally ties some form of personal info, so email, your name, Twitter handle, whatever it is, to your blockchain address. They know who you are and how much you have. And again, just like XRP Researcher says right here, airdrops equal data honeypots. So just be careful. I would always recommend using a virtual private network when you're online, especially transacting cryptocurrencies. You can never be too safe. Next, XRP Anderson. Great point right here. So just talking the typical FUD. So we're talking about the great wealth transfer, and they're saying, oh, well, again, there can't be that many millionaires, blah, 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 blah. Look at the hard numbers of millionaires per day. Look at how much, how many people exist, who's actually buying XRP. And right here, he says, true, 36 million people have over $1 million globally. Even if XRP creates tens of thousands of millionaires, which, it hypothetically could, it won't make a dent. Secondly, a lot of people that are already rich own XRP. To buy a lot of XRP, you must already have money. Good point. Again, guys, if you don't want to believe it, that's fine. You can have your expectations low and be grateful someday, and there's nothing wrong with a good exit plan, even if you only believe in, a $5 XRP long term, which, I believe in that a lot shorter term. But, there's nothing wrong. I am not upset with anybody that, handles risk management with intelligence and takes, their initial investment out, takes 10% out per year, however you want to do it, or if you just want to be risky and hold it forever, or, get your initial investment out or get all of your investment out when you break even and get out, and because, you just can't handle the cryptocurrency space. It's not for everybody. But, I write a plan and I do my best to stick to it because emotions when bull runs come are intense. All right, last one here, XRP_Anderson. The new financial system will be implemented by the decision makers of this planet, top down, not bottom up. Bitcoin was a good experiment. A lot of people see it as a successful social experiment, but all its limitations were solved over 7 years ago by XRP. And the limitations have only been shown for a couple of years now, and it's not even being used. Think about that. And again, Susie, one of the greatest YouTube channels, Esoteric Trading Solutions, she literally just says, totally agree with you say. And, I just really appreciate all of this input, guys. I want to hear your thoughts down below. Let me know if, I missed anything, or even if you don't agree with me, let me know and let's have a discussion about it. And hope you enjoyed. See you in the next one.